I don't know, maybe it just takes time.
It's just the same obsession.
Maybe you just have more, you have more hours on the XP on the skill tree.
I would say that it starts with the assessments, like I was saying, right? When you really understand what you're looking for in the assessments, then it changes what you see in the expression or the intervention, right? But it's also, like what I was talking about yesterday, is when you really start to understand the injuries, especially non-contact injuries, and how elite sports biomechanics work, you see that you're not using the elite biomechanics when you get injured, right? And so those breaks in the kinetic chain show you where all the leaks are, right? And then it's just, I think it's just working on putting it all together. Again, the physical therapy side of it teaches you more of these little precision things, right? And you learn them from the beginning, and so they're kind of always there as principles, right? And then it's just like what you were saying about trying to keep those principles as a priority, right? When you're able to prioritize them, you see things through a different lens, right? And so that's what the strong angle code is about as well, right? So if I don't start with alignment and connection, then I'm automatically being inefficient when I go to into coordination and execution, right? And again, as a physical therapist, I know where that goes. It goes to pain syndromes, right? It goes to injuries, right? Or it goes to limited performance because economically you're so inefficient that you're burning more energy than you can basically sustain with the amount of volume that you have to create, right? So it either requires a tremendous amount of recovery and rest, right? Or you start breaking down, right? And that's also where you start seeing, well, I can't sustain this, I can't maintain this, right? And that's the challenge we have. So now coming back to what you were talking about too, about when do you do these things, right? You do them as a warm-up, you do them as a daily movement practice, right? Like people like to do yoga, right? It's almost like instead of thinking of it like an exercise, right? You think of it, this is how I move my body. I don't just do this when I work out. It's the same way when I go to reach to pick something up, or I go to reach to pick something out of my cabinet or whatever, right? This principle doesn't just work for throwing mechanics, and it doesn't just work for preventing back pain while you're lifting for something. It's just how we should move our bodies, right? And now these little things like this give you just a better fine-tuning access and understanding for nerds like us that want to really understand it at a deeper level, right?
Yeah.
And really, I mean, isn't the idea to get, what if you could fully access your entire body, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like the Matrix, or you ever see Lucy, that movie?
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. I think it's Scarlett Johansson, right? She gets total access to her brain, right? So it's like, can you get full access and motor control? Now that's where you're getting into that cortical though, where you're now doing movement stuff 8 hours a day, right? Now, is that going to enhance you, or is that actually going to start hurting you in your specificity and your goals, right? That future that you're fighting for, right? And that's why not all of this stuff is created equal, and it also comes back to the evaluator to go, okay, how are we evaluating this stuff in the total, perspective, right? Where's the full program going to be? Do we have an 8-week fight camp coming up now, or do we have 4 months to fine tune